I do not feel very well today, and I haven't slept. And of course I've got to try and get 20 minutes of sewing done with this cape. And I've just read ahead in the instructions. Oh, they leave a lot to be desired. But first of all, I've got to sew everything together. I've already clipped it because I forgot I was supposed to be timing this. Anyway, let's make a start. I left my snips downstairs, fabric scissors it is. And the next seam. Okay, well at least we have a cape of sorts now. Okay, we can tick those two off. I've already done all of that page. But this is my dilemma.
Gathering all the sewn pieces, place the right side of the exterior hood facing down inside the right side of the cape exterior. Followed by the collar inside the hood, also facing down, and lastly with the cape lining wrong side out.
So we're making like a sandwich, we're bagging out. Not a problem. My issue is this diagram. Do you see here? I understand the orientation of the hood. I get what's going on. There are no balance marks to show me how the hood or the collar line up and how they line up to the cape. You might notice, and it even says, the exterior left-hand front piece will be longer than the lining. That's in the next step. I've got to do a whole sort of facing thing here, so I have no idea where this hood collar situation is supposed to line up on the neckline, because you will notice this side is shorter because I'm about to add a placket. This side is going to be longer because I'm about to fold this bit in. I have no idea where the hood is supposed to end. It's not indicated anywhere. All it says is we recommend stitching, basting the collar to the hood beforehand. Now, I presume I'm sandwiching in all the layers. But does the collar reach right to the end there? So that it looks like that when it's closed? Because the photos on the front are not very clear. The diagram is not very clear. And quite frankly, that situation around the neck looks like a mess. And that collar comes nowhere near, and the front of the hood comes nowhere near the placket. Look there, look. Can you see what I mean? The collar's like over here and the buttons are over here. What am I doing? Let's start by trying to clip these two together and see how we go. So it's... And like, there's balance marks on this, and there's balance marks on the back neckline of the cape, but they don't match up to this. Oh no, maybe they do match up. But there's no balance marks on this piece, because this was just a rectangle that I cut. It wasn't a pattern piece. So, first things first. So then, nope, that needs to go that way round, because that's the bit that's going to be against the neck. And all the layers, I just match the raw edges. I presume so. So let's try here and match the seams. Because of course my lining there is a bit short. Might have to fudge that. So if I line that up with there, how does this ease in? Oh my gosh. Would it be easier if I basted along these edges first? Probably. Let's try that. Let's try that. What are the chances that this is going to be finished for my holiday? Increasingly slim. Good thing I'm doing this, because look at how it needs easing in. It's my shoddy cutting for you. Okay, so let's try again. Centre back. This is what amazes me about these independent pattern companies. Don't get me wrong, I love this design. I love the design. The instructions, man. How would, I mean, was this listed as beginner friendly? I don't think I've got that instruction sheet here anymore. But good grief, I have a degree and I'm using all of my problem in this, and I'm using all of my problem solving skills here and all of my, I would say, substantial experience. I mean, look at how this needs easing in. Which makes me think possibly the collar is supposed to extend past the hood. Good God. Let's try the other end and see if it's the same. Definitely no balance marks. Is this even in shot? Sorry. Cup of tea going cold there. What's more, to say I'm not having a very good day, I shouldn't have started this because I'm now really annoyed. Look at that, man. How many clips is this going to take to ease in? I mean, good job I read that asterisk about this. Do I just extend it past a little? What do you think? To like there, maybe? Make my life just a touch easier? Okay, that's what we're going with. Wish me luck. Turning the stitch length up a bit again, just in case. Oh God, this is going to be awful. Right, what I'm going to do is line my previous basting line up with the centre of my presser foot and just move my needle over ever so slightly. Part of the issue is, of course, neither of these fabrics stretch well. The whatchamacallit stretches, but I'm sewing 2 layers of waterproof fabric to a layer of waterproof fabric. And I'm not even 100% sure if I'm doing this right. Look at all that ease, I'm not going to get that in. Oh, and there's the timer. Of course. Well, let's finish this. Fuck it, it's just going to be a bit wonky. Oh, and the bobbin ran out. So I just redid that little bit of basting. It's not brilliant, absolutely not brilliant the way I've eased it in, but I'm not really that bothered. I was able to get it better on the other side, so oh well. I've got 2 minutes left, my camera tells me, before my SD card is full. So I'm going to have a rest and clear the SD card. And then I might try and do another 20-minute timer where I find out how this attaches to the rest of it. Should we try it on? All this for a hood that doesn't even cover my head. Oh, great. Okay, see you in a bit. Hello again. It's taken so long to import, I got cold and had to go and get a cardigan. But while I was waiting for it to import, I did at least... I know technically this is not in the 20 minutes, but desperate times. I have clipped it to the main fabric to see where we're up to, and it does reach the end on one half. And actually, as I looked at the diagrams for the next few steps, that did eventually become clear. So like you can see here, where they're sewing the placket on, that hood is right at the edge there. So that's the raw edge. The placket goes there for whatever reason. And this here gets turned in and encased. God knows what happens with the other side. Oh, yeah. The bit that's sticking out just gets folded like that and stitched. So I'm feeling pretty confident that I know what I'm doing now. I will set another timer just so that I don't injure my neck. Part of me is tempted to baste this together, take all the clips off and then pin the lining on and sew it all in one go. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to have to do. This is such a precarious bit. And I want to, if I can, try and ease in some of these bits a bit better. So, timer, first of all. Doop, here we go. This desk is an absolute mess, but I don't have time for tidying. I've only got 20 minutes. Okay. Oh God, this already feels horrible. So, I'm just basting, so I don't want a centimetre. Just going over all my previous basting. Now there's this corner junction here I need to look out for. Oh God, so many layers. So much to go wrong. Risky business, this. Don't have my little snips. Oh, there's a little pair of snips somewhere here under all this mess. Haha. So my hope is that I can like ease this section in a bit better than I did the first time as I sew it. Okay, I think that's better. Let's check everything went as it was supposed to. I mean, it's not ideal there still, is it? But oh well. Okay, so now I have to clip the lining on. So it said I need to match the sleeve seams. There are some balance marks on this back neckline. They will probably have stretched or be in completely the wrong place. You're kidding me. How have I managed this? Okay, well, attempt number 2. Did I reverse this on? Did I turn the stitch length up? No! Yay! Pray for me. Oh, yeah. Fuck. got a rip. You didn't pray for me, did you? I think that's unfair. I don't think I can really blame you for that one. That one's on me. So, let's try again. Goes there. And that goes there. That looks like that's probably where that's supposed to go to. Ay, ay, ay. I mean, I have to clip this anyway, so it's not the end of the world, that rip. And that probably shows me where it would have needed clipping anyway. But then what does that mean for over here? I've remembered why I don't really like sewing. Oh man, can it be frustrating. See, that now seems massively short of the end. Okay, attempt number 2. This time I have turned the stitch length up. Ay, 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 right. Let's go. How did we do? I mean, not brilliantly there, but that's okay. Okay, take 2 with this lining. So, right sides together. Now everything lines up. Oh, whoops. In case you couldn't really see what I was doing there, or I didn't explain it because I was focusing, I had lined the centre back of the collar up with one of the balance marks. One of the few balance marks they've provided me on this seam. However, I wasn't supposed to line up the balance mark with the centre back seam. I was supposed to line it up with a balance mark that was slightly to the side of the centre back seam. So I had an off centre back. So that's just what I redid. And I get the feeling this neckline would have benefited from some stay stitching to stop it stretching out. I don't mean to keep complaining about this pattern because I really like the design, and like I say, I think it's gonna be like a really good accessible option for me. Just would like slightly better instructions and a few more balance marks. Mind you, I always want more balance marks. Okay. Here goes. Let me turn the stitch length down again. Let's keep it at a 3 because we've got quite a lot of fabric to go through. And I've got a centimetre seam allowance. So this I'm just going to do really slowly. Making sure everything is nicely tucking out of the way, easing in, not getting caught where it's not supposed to. This is where an industrial machine with a little table next to it. Oh, I accidentally switched my bobbin winder on. Would be really nice. But alas, we have to make do with what we've got. I knew that this bit would be a bit puckery. Where's my little pair of snips? These are quite handy for like keeping it flat. Seen people use a screwdriver. Flathead, naturally. I think a pair of thread snips might be a first. I imagine most people have more sense, or at least the sense to not be putting sharp blades near their project. Get the seam allowance nice and flat. Okay, another sort of awkward corner moment. Well, I knew it. Shush. nearly there. And the phone is somewhere underneath the cape. I know. Right. A minute 15 over that was. Not too bad. I'm not sure how much of this you can see. Hardly any. But I've turned it the right way out just to sort of check we're on the right track. And we are on the right track. My only issue is still looks quite bin bag like. I thought it would look more stylish. I'm hoping the belt will do a lot of heavy lifting, but I'm sat here. You can't see my lap, can you? And I think in terms of like my vision for this project, in that I would have, imagine I'm in the wheelchair. Long enough that it goes over past my knees. Could tuck everything in. So the sleeves I can button here to be like a sleeve, or I could literally like undo the button and put the back of the cape over the back of the wheelchair like that. But as a proof of concept, I think I'm onto a winner with this design, at least anyway. I have no idea whether this designer intended it to be a wheelchair friendly rain cape, but it is going to be a wheelchair friendly rain cape. And I did manage to figure out what on earth was happening with this collar, hood, facing situation. My only issue is the hood is not big enough for my head. Admittedly, I do also have a claw clip in, but like half my face is out. I need like a proper hood. If I'm going to be wearing this in the British summer or winter, I need a proper hood. So I'm excited. Maybe the buttons will help, and like a cord and all those sorts of things that will make it look a bit more like a coat. Maybe I put a buckle on the belt as well. Maybe that's something I do. I've got a huge stash of vintage coat buckles. I'm sure I can find one that would work for this. But in terms of the Sew in 20 challenge, I can tick off 2 more steps. Oh no, I can tick off 1 more step. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 steps left to do. A lot of top stitching, a lot of buttonholes, a lot of things I would really rather take my time with than rush. But the weather forecast for the holiday is at least good. So if it's not quite done, it'll be okay. And I'm looking forward to making the next version already, basically. I can think of a million ways that I would tweak it to make this more me, to make it easier to sew. I think part of my distaste for this is that I look a little bit like a tweedy old lady. I would say the Queen. Well, I suppose the Queen is currently a tweedy old lady as well, but I'm thinking of Queen Elizabeth II. I bet I can find a picture of her in some sort of like jodhpurs, wellies, and some version of this kind of cape in this colour. I think that's enough for now. I need to rest. Oh God. But at least the collar and the hood are on. Progress. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow.